Hello, I'm Ian Dainty, CEO of Maximize Business Marketing, and welcome to this series of questions I will be answering for you over the next couple of months. Today's question is, how do you set goals? You've probably read a lot about setting goals. Perhaps you've even heard of the famous SMART, S-M-A-R-T formula, meaning specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time specific. Well, that's okay, but it's not really the best way to set goals, even though it is reasonable. To set and achieve great goals, you need to be, to a certain extent, unreasonable. We tend to completely undermine ourselves by being too reasonable. And unfortunately, the SMART formula is totally reasonable. It keeps you inside a rigid box of what's possible. But why do you want to set goals that are just possible? Why not set goals that seem impossible, or at least unreasonably difficult? At least from your current point of view. You want to set goals that set you on fire, that help you reach for the stars. Goals that take passion, sweat, blood and tears to achieve. The fellow who made the time machine in the movie was totally unreasonable, and perhaps it got him somewhere. I'm not suggesting you become totally unreasonable, but at least partially unreasonable. It will take you places you hadn't dreamed of before, maybe even through time, although I doubt that. What kind of things am I talking about? Well, the amount of money you could make in a year. Most hope to make more, some plan to make more, and some shoot for the stars and actually make a whole lot more, and usually have a great time doing it. What would happen if you tripled your income this year? Unreasonable? Sure, but not impossible. The kind of clients and projects you can attract, you could get virtually anyone as a client if you set your mind to it. Perhaps not tomorrow, but sooner than you think. I've seen it happen with my clients in just 2 or 3 months. They went for it and it happened. Creating and implementing a huge project, you can play it safe and decide to write that book or develop that program or launch that project someday. Not technically a day of the week, by the way. Or you can start it now. But why keep putting off your goals until a more reasonable time? As the old saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today, right now. Perhaps you're saying to yourself right now again, okay, Ian, I appreciate the pep talk, but you have some tips to get me off my butt and to get some reasonable goals going? And perhaps you're also saying to yourself, you're right, I do think too small and I get stuck. And I want to think bigger and really go for it. But how? Well, I'm glad you asked. There's a formula I saw a number of years ago, and I've learned, and it's not very famous, but it's called the ITOCA, I-T-O-C-A. So how do you get to ITOCA goals? Let's examine each letter to show you what they are. I is for imagine. Imagine you're on your deathbed looking back and you say to your loved ones gathered around, you know, I've had a pretty good life, but I really wish I'd done X, whatever X is. That's your unreasonable goal. T is for think. Think about it all the time. Don't push it out of your mind. Obsess it. Obsess about it. Brainstorm and draw mind maps. Get the idea out of the abstract and into the concrete. Form a mastermind group and kick around ideas. Make it real. Number 3, O, be aware of opportunities and coincidences that present themselves. You couldn't see them before, but now with increased focus on your goal, you'll start seeing, reading, hearing about things that are connected to your goal. Explore these things. They're there to help you. C, when the time is right, make a commitment. On the TV poker shows, they talk about going all in. So don't hold back. Make a promise, not based on knowing really how to achieve your goal, but on your desire to make it real, to make it happen. If you have to know how ahead of time, you'll never take the leap. And the last one, number 5, A, is for action. Now it's time for the real work. And that consists of putting one foot in front of the other every single day. Keep things alive by creating action plans, researching, asking for assistance, and networking with like-minded people. In other words, create an environment for which the goal can be reached. ITOCA. ITOCA. Imagine, think, opportunities, commitment, action. Now that's a pretty bad acronym compared to SMART, but I promise you it's a better formula for getting what you truly desire. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more tips coming soon.